Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I want to welcome you to the new and improved Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast. After many years of interviewing the best and brightest thought leaders around the world on my SiriusXM show, I am excited to now have those interviews available to people around the globe on this podcast. So many people would write us and say, I love what I've been hearing about your interviews with these great people. Where can I access them? I live in this country or that country, or I don't have access to that technology. How can I get the information? Well, I'm so excited now that we are able to offer the information and the interviews free on this podcast. So we want you to sit back and enjoy this message and let me know how you like them. And then do me a favor. If you like them, send a review. Write a review and post it. And if you like it, hit like on here and share it. And tell everybody you know about it. And then subscribe to this podcast so you'll get the alerts when we post a new interview episode. Thank you for listening and enjoy the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast.
Named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world.
Inducted into the Speaker Hall of Fame.
Award-winning singer.
Best-selling author.
And now, here's Willie Jolley.
Hey, that's right. It only takes a minute. It only takes a minute to change your life. The moment that you make a decision, you change your life. You might not reach your destination in a minute, but you certainly can change your direction in a minute. Are you ready to have a life that is minute by minute getting better and better? Well, you only have a minute, only 60 seconds in it forced upon you. You can't refuse it. You didn't seek it. You didn't choose it, but it's up to you to use it. You must suffer if you lose it. Give account if you abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but an eternity is in it. Greetings to all of the folks who listen to this show all over America and around the world. Thank you for being part of our community, our friends, our family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I want to thank all of those who have recently called and said that they love this show. We had a nice conversation with a lady from Dallas, Texas, who her name is Cynthia, this last week, and she said that she loved the last week's show and she listens often. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And all of those who send us notes and let us know that you are seeing improvement in your life. You're seeing impact in your business and your finances, that you are starting businesses, that you're growing your wealth, that you are using the principles from this show to have greater success. So thank you, thank you, thank you for reaching out. I want to encourage you to continue to reach out to us and reach out to me and my team at williejolly.com or on social media, wherever you may find Willie Jolley. Now, you know I start every show with that minute, and I also start every show with a moment to give God some glory, to give him some praise, to thank him. And I am grateful for all of the things that God has done, has blessed me with, has opened for me, that I can be a blessing to others. You must know that I am a motivational speaker who also has a faith component. I have a master's in theology, a doctorate of ministry, as well as a BA in psychology, but I make my living in the motivational speaking arena or area. But it really is, if you define it, really, it's inspiration. Motivation deals with your head. Motivation deals with making you want to do something, to get you up and going. Inspiration deals with your heart. It's that component that gives you life, that gives you breath, that gives you direction and protection, introspection, reflection. It's that thing that breathes life into your dreams and goals and your future. So I'm excited about being able to inspire you, motivate you, empower you, uplift you, encourage you, and help you to have greater success in your personal and your professional endeavors. Now, if you're really ready to go to another level, then you're going to love this show today, because every year I do at least once a year a show about relationships. And I bring on a special guest, someone who I know very well and who knows me very well as well. And every year, that is probably our most popular show. My producer always says every year, man, make sure to do that show on relationships and on marriage and bring your superpowered special guest who you bring in every year. And so we are doing that again this show because my special guest is sitting across from me, beautiful, glamorous, gorgeous, smart, and she's really smart because she said, I do, to me. My bride, the one and only Dee Taylor-Jolley. How are you, Dee Taylor-Jolley?
Hello, everyone. I'm fine, sweetheart.
Well, we are grateful for the opportunity to talk to people and to help people and encourage people. We have had the honor, since we were last on together here on my show, of doing a number of big marriage conferences around the country. Some of them were individual programs that were put on by individuals or people or groups or companies, and others were church-based, where churches who have marriage ministries asked us to come in as a result of the newfound popularity of our book, Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. And the book has been out just about a year now, and it is by far our fastest selling book.
Second printing.
Our second printing ran out quickly of the first printing and had to do a rush because we had a big marriage event and people said, we got to have this book. So we did a big print run, and even those are starting to go quickly. And now we have to do our own events because of the response to the book. So we're doing them virtually as well as live, and they are being promoted globally. So we want people to go to jollymarriage.com and get some of the resources to help them grow their marriages. We're just amazed. We're excited now that it's going on Amazon, and we're excited that we are going to be getting it in the store soon. But at the meantime, you can go to jollymarriage.com and get a free chapter. Let's talk about some of the things we've learned over the last year that have been included in the new version of the book. As
An updated version.
Updated version, that's right. An updated version of the book, as well as just some of the things we've learned that we share in the seminars that have come from our conversations with people. And they have been, some of them have been doozies. I mean, these conversations with folks. So we're going to talk about some of the principles we've learned from the book. Again, the book is Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. Dee and I have been married going on 35 years and haven't had an argument in over 33 years. Those first few years were very tough. We had major arguments. In fact, we had one argument we almost broke up over. But we learned some principles from some wise mentors that changed our lives. And we put those principles from the wise mentors in a book. And the book is Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. And we tell people there are two ways to achieve any goal: mentors and mistakes. Both will get you there. One just gets you there with less headaches, heartaches, and challenges. So if you got to learn, anywho, you might as well learn from somebody who's already done successfully what you want to do. How many of you who are listening today want to have a happy marriage, happy relationship? How many of you are having some challenges in your relationship that distract you from your business, that impact your ability to focus because you got drama at home? How many of you are dealing with that? And what number of you are miserable? Okay, we ask those questions because statistics show that 50% of marriages in America and in England and any of the what we call Western cultures or civilization, America, England, on this side of the world, they end in divorce. 50% end in divorce. The statistic, though, that's beyond that is of the 50% that remains, 40% of those people say they're miserable. Miserable. living on lives of quiet desperation. They're maybe sexless. They're not friends, but they stay together for the children or because they don't have enough money to separate. So we've had conversations with people who are in just drama-filled marriages who come up to our table when we're signing books, and some of them just unload and just, it's been amazing this last year, hasn't it, Dee?
It's been interesting.
Okay, let's go through.
Tactful.
Let's go. That's a tactful way of saying it. Let's go through a couple. Let's go through the tenets of the book that we learn in the 10 Secrets for Shaping a Great Marriage. By the way, there is a chapter for those. There's one extra chapter called the special section, Message for Singles or for those not yet married, how to choose the right person to marry. And that's a tremendous asset to people who are not yet married, who are thinking about getting married or want to get married. How do you choose? Because there are a lot of people out here who are wolves in sheep clothing, and there are a lot of imposters, impersonators, who are not the right one for you. How do you get to know if that person is the right one or not? Well, let's start with chapter 1 of the book. And while we say, one more thing, while we say 50% of Western versus Eastern, is that Eastern marriages, we have our friends, the Alwanis, who live in St. Martin, who we interviewed for the book. They come from an Eastern culture. They're Indian, East Indian, and they come from a culture where they're arranged marriages. Their parents choose who's going to be your mate. And they say the difference is, and this is what they told us, that in Western cultures in America, England, or wherever, people have the right to marry who they want. Now, here's what happens. People start off looking at somebody who looks good. They get all Google-eyed, and then they get really hot about being married. They get hot. They say they get hot, and over time they cool off. They said with Eastern marriages, they don't really know each other. The Eastern cultures, they start off cool, and over time they warm up. And she said she and her husband are best friends. They love being together, and they've learned to be best friends over time. Okay, let's talk about the tenets. Step number 1, or secret number 1.
I think before you say that,
Yep.
before secret number 1, we need to say that we have an interesting approach as to how we've written our book.
Yeah, well, tell them more about that.
So we agree, obviously, as to the 10 important steps that will help you shape a great marriage. But then we share our individual stories or perspectives on how we look at those key concepts. And our stories are different.
Yep.
Our perspectives are different on that same issue. But we come together.
Tell about the lady at church on Sunday and what she said.
Yes, there was a lady, a friend who purchased our book. We didn't know that she had just gotten engaged. And she purchased the book, and she and her fiance read the book while they were on their way to the West Coast. And she said it was a simple read. She enjoyed the stories. And from my perspective, and he enjoyed the stories and understood Willie's perspective. And it was a good idea to have a male and a female take on the same issue. And we've gotten that a lot. So I think that's a unique way that we've written the book.
Right. I think it's really profound how the people have said, we love the fact you're so transparent, you don't pull punches. Particularly, my wife talks about some of the challenges that she really had to question herself because she's older than I am. She had to question whether she wanted to give her life to a younger man, as well as...
Well, who's going to be head of the household?
Who's better household?
That was the issue. And a blended family because you came with the daughter.
That's right. So, look, we got to take a quick break. We'll be right back after station identification, as well as making sure you know that this is the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show, and for sure, your best is yet to come. We'll be right back. Afraid of flying, changed in the blink of an eye. Now all my heart wants to do is fly. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered why some people can make $1 million, lose it, make a second million, lose that, then make a third million, while other people can't even make ends meet? Well, the reason is that those people know the recipe for success. And that recipe is available to everyone if you will do what they did. They made a habit of getting positive, motivational resources of great thinkers and great learners. And I want to offer those same kind of resources to you. We've developed a free page on my website. It's wjspeaks.com/gift. wjspeaks.com/gift. On that site, we've got resources, books, audios that help you to grow, and they're free. So go to wjspeaks.com/gift, wjspeaks.com/gift, and get some of those resources, and then share that page with your friends and your family members. We want to impact and inspire millions of people. And remember, if you enjoy this message on this podcast, like it, share it, and post a review about it, and make a difference in the lives of others by letting them know about it. Have a great day. This is Dr. Willie Jolley.
A to the D to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. A to the T to the T to the I to the T to the U to the D to the E. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's about your attitude. It's all about your attitude.
And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley with my special guest.
This is Dee Taylor-Jolley.
And so we're here for our show that so many people ask for every year. Over and over, people say, can you have that show with your wife that y'all can talk about your marriage? Many people have asked, how do we do it? We work together, we travel together, we're together about 20 hours per day, every day. She's up before day about 5 a.m. and goes to the gym. And by the time I get up a couple hours later, I go to the gym, and then we reconvene back at our office in our home, or when we're traveling somewhere, in the early morning. And then we're together the rest of the time. We travel together, we do everything together. And so we don't argue. And people are just so amazed. You don't argue? No, we don't argue. We haven't had an argument in over 30 years. Now, do we always agree? No.
I'm always trying to convince him that my way of thinking is the right way of thinking, though.
She is trying to convince me, but we don't always agree. But we've got systems. Systems, and the systems work. If you use the systems, you can have a happy marriage, happy relationship, and you can make more money. So that's what we want to talk about first.
And your relationships certainly affect your purse strings.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And as our friends the Roadies told us, you got to be careful who you marry, because when you divorce, they can take half of everything you've created, and you can go broke. Anyway, here we go. First of all, step number one. I guess, first of all, let me do this. We never told you about this before, and I'm going to tell you now. I'm going to take a moment to tell you a story about how I got her to say yes. We shared this at a couple of the marriage seminars we did recently, and people hollered, went nuts about this story. And it's not in the book, so I figure I better tell you now. So here's the story. First of all, my wife, I met her originally or initially in high school. No, she was not my classmate.
I was his teacher.
She was my social studies teacher. A young teacher, beautiful young teacher, but I didn't think much about it. Myself and my friend Gary Coble used to go into class every day, say, hey, she's looking good today. She's a pretty lady, but she was married. So she was off limits, no problem. We were looking at the other girls in the class. And so with no big deal. Well, years go on. I graduate from high school, going to college. I don't see it all during my college years. But when I was in graduate school, I was also singing with a guy named Joe Minor. We had a recording group called The Deuce. We had a record deal with CBS Records. Look up The Deuce sometime in the song Someone Else. You'll love it. Anyway, we were on our way to a business meeting with our manager going down K Street in Washington, D.C., which is one of the busy thoroughfares. And we were looking at women. We were both single. And looking at women walking down the street, kind of cat whistling and, hoo-hoo, hey, pretty girl, how are you? Nice to see you. And there was this lady as we were we were actually going west on K Street. And there was this lady, beautiful looking lady, up in front with it, very shapely, and I hollered out, hey, good looking, or something to that fact. She turned around, it was my former teacher. Oh my goodness. I said, how you doing, Miss Aldrich? I pulled over and got out and said, how are you? How you doing? She said, oh, hello. How are you doing? Well, she remembered my name. And she said, so how's your mother? She knew my mother because they both taught school.
Social studies teachers together.
Yeah, and asked about my brother and then da-da-da-da. And then I said, well, how's your husband? She said, oh, well, we're no longer together. And I said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. And then I went on to tell her that I was on my way to a meeting, couldn't talk now, but I'd love to catch up and be in touch and maybe have lunch sometime just to catch up. She was very non-committal, not interested.
I think you gave me your number.
I think I gave you my number.
And I threw it away later. Okay. Let's move on. Move on.
Right. I gave her none. She threw it away. I didn't hear from her. Well, some months later, I saw her a second time in Rodman's drugstore.
Oh, my goodness.
And then I've cornered her. I said, I gave you my number. You did not call it. And
I don't know what happened to it. I'm so sorry.
I said, so you got to give me your number now because I'd like to invite you to come to one of my events I'm singing at.
I felt trapped.
So she gave me the number, and I invited her to come hear me. It was for the Congressional Black Caucus. I was singing for this event at the Congressional Black Caucus, and I said, why don't you come be my guest? Well,
at the Washington Hilton Hotel.
Washington Hilton. Well, about 10 o'clock, she wasn't there, so I went to the payphone, and I called her.
I had actually gone to bed.
She wasn't interested, but she did lie well. What did you say?
Oh, my goodness. I overslept. I'm on my way. I'm a little behind schedule.
So she came and she stayed a short while. I sang a song called Lady.
And I up and left abruptly.
I'm your knight and shining armor, and I love you.
Got the feeling that this person was singing to me, and I thought that was ridiculous. So I got up, said goodnight to everyone at the table, which included his mom, Ma Jolley, and got in my little sports car and drove myself up Connecticut Avenue to my apartment, back into my flannels, and into the bed.
So a couple hours later, the gig was finished. I called her. I said, hey, what happened? Why'd you leave? Why did you?
How fresh is that?
You didn't allow me to walk you to your car. That was, I was trying to be gentlemanly. She said, well, thank you. I made it okay. I said, look, I go to school not far from you. I go to graduate school. How about I stop by one day? And initially it was no. But finally I talked to her, and one night, I talked to her again, and I told her at night I had the night class, one night class on Thursday night, which my favorite show came on Thursday night, Hill Street Blues at 10 o'clock. My class didn't get over to 9:55. And by the time I would get home, it would be about 10:25, and I'd missed the first half because this was before you had DVRs and VHS and all of that. So if you missed it, you just missed it. And I said, I'm 5 minutes from you, on my way by. Could I just stop by, see this show? She was still hesitant, but finally I talked to her and let me at least come by and see this show. Well, I came by.
How intrusive was he?
Anyway, I came by to see her and see this show, and over time, we became friends. So, in time, though, she lost her job and decided to move back to Hampton, Virginia to run her parents' church and business empire. They had a very successful entrepreneur empire with a grocery store and laundromat,
hair salon,
all the above. And so that's what happened. She went back to Hampton, Virginia, and I would visit as often as I could. Well, here comes how this all came to be. So one Thursday.
But we were good friends.
We were
then.
good friends.
Yes, we were good friends.
We were good friends.
But
She just kept
not
saying,
the marrying kind.
well, you kept saying,
Not I.
I said I want to get married, but you were very resistant. I said you were the right one for me. I was enamored by
I
you.
had recommendations of others that would be good choices for him.
But I said, I have made up my mind. Now I just got to figure out how to get her to figure it out that that's what it's going to be. Anyway, a friend of mine on a Thursday, he lets me know he and his wife are going to Virginia Beach for a long weekend. Hey, can I ride down with you? You can drop me off in Hampton. I can go visit Dee and her parents. He said, okay, great. So they dropped me off on this Thursday. And on Friday morning, I told Dee, I said, why don't we go to lunch today? It would be nice, and it was one of my favorite restaurants.
Fisherman's Wharf?
Fisherman's Wharf. They had a daily brunch special Monday through Friday. I said, okay, let's do that. She said, oh, okay. Now, as we left, I said to her, hey, I'm going to ask you a question. Now, I know you've told me no every time I've even brought up the subject of marriage. That's not something on your radar screen. You're not interested. No. But I just want to ask you a question. I know you said it's not going to happen, but is it impossible? Or is it just improbable? I mean, she said she's an educated lady, so she knew it. I mean, if it's improbable, that's probably not going to happen, but is it impossible that it would never, ever could happen? She said it's very improbable. Not impossible, but very, very improbable. I said, okay. And then a little longer as we're going to the restaurant, I said, now you say it's improbable. How about this? Why don't we at least, since I'm here on a Friday, I'm never here on a Friday, find out what it would take to get married if we were going to get married in Virginia? Do you need a 3-day wait? Do you need a blood test? What does it take to get a marriage license? She said, this is a waste of time. Let's just go to, let's just at least stop by City Hall and just get the information.
Which was on the way to Fisherman's Wharf.
Right. So we stop by City Hall on our way to Fisherman's Wharf, and I go in, she goes in with me, and I say to the lady, let me ask you a question. What does it take to get a marriage license in Virginia? Is it a 3-day wait? Is it a blood test? The lady says, no wait.
And no blood test.
And no blood test.
Oh, my goodness.
All you need is $7. I said, $7? That's all you need. I said, oh, that's good. I said, now, look. I said to Dee, now, listen, $7. Ma'am, how long is this thing good for? She said, it's good for a year. A year? Wow. Okay. Here we go. It's good for a year. How about this, Dee? I know it's improbable, but you might change your mind in the next year. If you do, at least I got a marriage license. She said, your $7. That's what she said. Your $7. Do what you want with it. So I got the marriage license, and then I said to the lady, okay, now if you had a marriage license, you were going to get married, what would be the next logical step? The lady said, you'd get on the calendar of the Justice of the Peace, which is upstairs. But there's usually about a 3-week wait to be married by the Justice of the Peace because he's always packed. I said, okay. So I said to Dee, well, look, before we leave, let's go on upstairs and at least go to see what it would take if you ever change your mind. We go up the steps. We get to the lady who is the administrator for the Justice of Peace. And I said, so what would be the process of doing it? And she said, well, it's usually a 3-week wait, but we just had a cancellation. And folks, 15 minutes later, I was a married man.
And I don't remember any of the details, but it's the best decision I ever made.
That's the story. That's a true story. So look, we're going to take a quick break for station identification, and then we're going to come back and go through these principles in the book so that you can be happily married as well. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. We'll be right back. Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I got an email from a gentleman in Australia who shared how he had been struggling in his business, and he bought some of my books and audios, and how it had a profound impact on his business, and he went from worst to first in his company. I shared with him how much I appreciated his note, but I told him those books, those audios, those videos were not just something that I just thought up one day and started to write. They were born out of my experiences, out of the challenges of overcoming the problems and the difficulties and how I was able to do it. And I shared with him that others have sent similar messages and that these resources work. I want to encourage you and invite you to go to my store. Go to wjspeaks.com/shop. wjspeaks.com/shop. Get some of the books. It only takes a minute to change your life. Or a setback is a setup for a comeback. Or turn setbacks into greenbacks. Or chicken soup for the soul. Or an attitude of excellence. Or the book I wrote with my wife after 34 years of being married and not having an argument in over 30 years. We wrote a book called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last. And now it is saving marriages all over the globe. Go to the store, get some of the audios, the videos, the books, the resources to help you have greater personal and professional success. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Make this a great day on purpose. And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and I've got a special guest, my bride of 35 years, Dee Taylor-Jolley, who is not just my bride, but my business partner and my best friend. And so we are excited about doing the show that you ask for every year, one of these shows that talk about how to have a successful marriage. Before we get going, we want to talk about the fact that we are having our marriage seminar that you can access live here in Washington, D.C., or you can get the stream. It comes directly to your home so you can have you and your significant other to get that right in your home. You can go to jollymarriage.com/magic because it's the Jolly Marriage Magic Seminar. We want to create magic. So go to jollymarriage.com/magic. All right, let's get it on. Let's get going. Here are the tips to help you grow your marriage. Of the 10 secrets for shaping a great marriage, secret number 1 is friends first. Friends first. That we have done the research that found that people who are good friends, best friends, also tend to have the best marriages. And people who have good marriages tend to be best friends. As simple as that. So what we have to do then is say we have to backtrack. Say, well, what happens if people are married and they're not married to their best friend? Well, then we tell them how to befriend your spouse. How to befriend your spouse. And there's some simple solutions to that, befriending your spouse. And how do you become better friends? One of the ways we recommend you become a better friend is, first you got to decide to work on your friendship. And then you got to find something in common, whether it's art or movies or something that you both can learn to like. And then,
or even video games. I know a lot of men play video games, but women play video games now too.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one.
But it's important to note here that there's a lot of research that talks about the benefits of just best friends generally. You tend to be kinder, you tend to be more thoughtful, and you're on the same page. Even if you disagree with your best friend, you work it out.
Think about, folks, of you who your best friends are. Whoever you, I want you, each one who's listening, think about 2 or 3 best friends. 2 or 3 best friends, and then I want you to say, well, what makes them best friends?
So make a list of qualities of a best friend.
Yes. And once you make the list of the qualities of a best friend, share that with your spouse. So here's the thing that
so you're going to exchange that information.
So he'll
see
say
how you stack up.
Right. Here's what what makes me best friend. We don't argue. We don't always agree, but we don't argue. Or if we do disagree, we get over it quickly. Or here's what Susie says. She's my best friend, or for your case, Gladys or Carolyn. We don't argue. We are best friends and da-da-da-da. So make a list of the qualities, exchange it. Study your spouse. Study your spouse, learn what they like, they value, their preferences.
What raises the hair on the back of their neck. So
yes.
do you really need to go there? Sometimes we we know what bothers our spouse and we do it anyway.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Not good. And then get in their world. Get in their world. My wife likes yoga. I've been to yoga with her. She watches football with me, and she doesn't know what's going on. But she stays there. My son might be here with us, and she'll say, "Did they score a home run?" She doesn't really know what's going on, but she in my world. I'm in her world.
I'm in the space with them.
Right. So
Communicating.
do that. Hear those principles. Learn to like your spouse over and over again. Focus on what you have in common, not the differences. Talk about what you value. Laugh together.
And there's a great book to read also. How to Win Friends and Influence People, which has been around for what? 40 or 50 years?
Yep.
By Dale Carnegie. And the principles there, how to win friends and influence people, are the same for people that you don't know, as well as for getting to know your spouse better.
Right. Chapter number 2, or step number 2, or point number 2, is not really steps, it's points. Make God an equal part of your marriage. We believe that God needs to be an equal part of your marriage. He is in ours. That's what has had a profound impact on our marriage. But we got this from a couple who taught us about the triangle, that the triangle has 3 corners. And the left bottom corner is the husband. Right bottom corner is the wife. And that top corner is God. Now, the left corner is 33%. Right corner, 33%, which leaves 34%. Which means God has the majority on this marriage. Make God an equal part or majority owner of the marriage. Let it filter through. And that's when we talk about wisdom. Having wisdom. The Bible says that wisdom is the primary thing. And so you have wisdom, and that comes from God that says, hey, here's what you should do. There are going to be situations and circumstances in your marriage that you don't know what to do. That's when you need wisdom.
So wisdom comes from God. We get that through prayer, through study, through interacting with other Christian people. And I would say that the emphasis here is on studying the Word together and growing together in the Word so that you have the same values.
Yep.
Then it's easier to resolve challenges, problems, stumbling blocks, because you share the same values and you work it out together.
Right. Number 3, decide to make it last. There's a quote we love by Roberta Flack. She says, getting married is easy. Staying married is more difficult. Staying happily married for a lifetime should rank among the fine arts. From Roberta Flack. We like to tell you that love is an emotion.
But marriage is a decision.
And so you got to decide to make it last. And many people get married with, I'll try to make it last. No. Or they say, we got a goal to make it last. No. Look, we tell people you don't try, you either do or you don't. And in terms of setting goals, every year there are 32 football teams that set a goal to win the Super Bowl. Only one wins every year. That means that 31 don't hit the goal. But does that mean they give up? No. What they do is they try again. So rather than making a goal, I recommend you make a promise. And a promise is different from a goal. Or a commitment is different from a goal. Because I'm committed to this. I've made a promise that we're going to stay together. In fact, when we got married, I told my wife, hey, if you want to get out of this, there's a way out. You got to die. You can get out if you die. You die, you're good. All right?
Outrageous.
So love is an emotion. Marriage is a decision. You must decide to stay married.
And then you make a commitment to that decision to stay married.
That's right. And you make a commitment to each other. And we talk a lot about that commitment as well as the commitment to go through the challenging times, the good time. We had, by the way, let me take a moment before I forget. I almost forgot. Happily Married Mondays. 9 o'clock Monday nights.
Eastern Standard Time.
Facebook Live. You can join us for Happily Married Monday with the Jollies, where we interview some couples. We talk about things we've learned, as well as we answer questions that are sent to us by our friends, our family members,
our listeners,
our viewers. So if you got questions or you want to answer it, Send it to info@williejolly.com. Go to jollymarriage.com and submit your questions either way. And we'll get to some of them on Monday nights at 9 o'clock, Facebook Live, just Willie Jolley Facebook Live. But what I wanted to say about that is that we had a couple on recently who talked about the vow for rich, for poor, for better, for worse, in sickness and health, and how they have stayed together for over 55 years in keeping that vow through the tough health issues.
In sickness and in health, that was the main issue with them.
Yep.
And the wife expressed that during chemotherapy, there was another patient there whose husband did not stick with her through sickness. I just could not wrap my head around that. He said, I can't handle your cancer and I'm out.
Right.
A mother with 2 children now dealing with cancer treatment alone.
But how she was the opposite. Her husband sat by her bedside
Yes,
every day,
prayed
prayed for her, encouraged her.
Yes.
And she beat the cancer because of that. She said that was a big part of it. Okay, number 5, we got to get through it because we got 5 more to go through. All right, number 5 is leave the drama with your mama. That's a good chapter. Leave the drama with your mama. Focus on peace and prosper. Focus on drama and flounder. Your choice. So, our friend Dr. Clarice Sluitt says, love is blind, but marriage is an eye-opener. She and her husband have been married for over 50 years, but she is a counselor to a lot of folks. She says a lot of folks have misconceptions, and they bring a lot of drama with them. Look, when you were a child, you thought like a child, you acted like a child, but when you became an adult, you put away childish things. Oh, did I skip number?
We'll come back to it.
We'll come back number 4. I skipped number 4 because I want to make sure we got to it. Thank you, Dee. That's why I got you here.
You're welcome.
All right, so leave the drama with your mama. And that means reality shows talk about relationships and the drama that comes with it. And we see people doing all sorts of crazy stuff on television for reality shows, but that's for ratings. They do that for ratings. But let me tell you, all that kind of drama in real life does not get good ratings.
It wears you out. It wears out the relationship.
That's right. So leave the drama with your mama.
I think the interesting thing about leave the drama with your mama, it says that by leaving, cleaving, and weaving a new relationship, you get to create a new culture. It doesn't have to be 100% like mama did it over here. Doesn't have to be 100% like daddy and mama did it over here. You have an opportunity to take the best that you each decide on and put it together to weave and cleave your new relationship.
Right. Now let's go back to chapter number 4. I'm sorry, I was so anxious to get to leave the drama with your mama. I skipped number 4, which is communicate. Talk to each other. 3 big things that break up marriages.
That sounds easy. Talk to each other.
Talk to each other. Big 3 things that break up marriages are sex, money, and communication. And the biggest of the 3 is communication, because if you can talk through the sex problems. You can talk through the money problems. But you got to communicate.
And I think talking means being honest. And sometimes it's very difficult to say what you're actually feeling. And it can take time. So you have to be able to listen.
Yep.
You need to be able to say, I'm struggling here, and could you give me some time to get my ideas out to you? Would you just listen to me? I think it's very important that the spouse listen. That means listen with the eyes as well as the ears and with the mouth shut.
Wow.
And then not to judge what you hear.
Right. And let me tell you something we've learned since we wrote the book. The power of nonverbal communication. We talk about it in the book, but we really went in deep in the seminars. Now, we're going to come back with the 4 F's for having difficult conversations. We do that, you're going to want to know what those 4 F's are, because they'll work in your marriage as well as in your business relationships. This is Dr. Willie Jolley, and we'll be right back. And for sure, your best is yet to come.
Friendship is not about being convenient. It's about being committed and consistent.
You can call on me
When you need me,
call me. You can call on me.
call me.
You can call on me.
Pick up the phone
You can call
and call me.
Hi, this is Dr. Willie Jolley, and people often ask, how did I go from a broke, busted nightclub singer to become a best-selling author and to be voted one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by the 175,000 members of Toastmasters International? The answer is that I decided to invest and change my thinking, invest in my mindset, and decided to change my inputs because inputs determine outputs. I heard about a seminar years ago when I was just getting started. I was making about $100 a speech. And I heard this seminar that was creating millionaires, and it cost $10,000, but the guy was getting results. I didn't have that kind of money, but I decided to borrow it because I learned that there's a price for success, the price of college, the price of going to school, the price of education. And there's a price for success, and then there's a cost for not paying the price, the cost of staying the same. And that cost is greater than the price. It's too expensive. And so I went and it changed my life. And I came back and quickly made $100,000. I heard a similar story from Dr. Dave Martin, how he went to a success rally, heard a speaker who inspired him. He and his friends said, wow, that's changed my life. The speaker had a package of materials to help build wealth. The package cost $1,500. And that was all the money Dr. Dave had to his name. Dr. Dave's friend asked, do you think this stuff is worth it? Dr. Dave thought for a moment. He said, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. But I do know that I'm worth it. I'm worth it. He invested that money in that package and used the materials to grow his thinking. He grew his mindset. He shared how that $1,500 investment has gone on to generate millions in revenues. He's a multimillionaire. And he has homes now in Arizona and Florida. I want to say to you, it's time to invest in you. I want to give you some materials that will help you, grow your mindset, grow your future, grow your finances. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire. wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get some materials that will inspire your success and will help you find that there's a price for success, but there's a cost for not paying the price. And the cost is always greater than the price. Go to wjspeaks.com/billionaire and get the bag, the box, or any of the materials there and keep growing your wealth. And remember, as a man thinketh, so as he is, and your best is yet to come.
Gonna take it to the top.
And we're back. This is Dr. Willie Jolley with Dee Taylor-Jolley, my special guest.
Hi there.
Now, we got one more segment, and we want to make sure we get as many of these points in. Remember that you can email us at info@williejolly.com or go to jollymarriage.com, get a free chapter from the book, and jollymarriage.com/live to order the CD. You can order the book there as well if you want an autograph book, or you can go to Amazon and just get a book. But if you want an autograph book, go to jollymarriage.com, and you can go to jollymarriage.com/live, jollymarriage.com/live to get to the audio of the live seminar. Now, that said, we've got communicate, the 4 F's for having the difficult communication and conversations. The 4 F's are, first, be friendly. Start every conversation where you have a difficult conversation by being friendly. Don't be hostile because people put up defense mechanisms. Be friendly. Second, be frank. Tell them how it makes you feel when this happens or that happened, rather than you did this or you did that or you were trying to say.
You make people defensive.
You make them defensive. No.
When you accuse them.
Here, rather than accusations, here's how you made me feel. Nobody can question your feelings. Be friendly, be frank, be fair. Sometimes there's a reason that you need to hear. Stephen Covey said, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Seek first to understand, listen, and then to be understood. You might get another perspective. And finally, be focused on a positive result. You want this to end well in a win-win relationship. So be friendly, be frank, be fair, be focused on a positive result. So communicate, learn to communicate. And that will have a profound impact on your marriage.
Communicating like agreeing to disagree?
Agreeing to this. That's chapter number 6.
Agree about how you're going to disagree.
Big chapter for us
That
because
is major communication.
major, because that's the one we almost broke up on.
Over Chinese food.
Chinese food.
But it wasn't the Chinese food, it's what it represented in terms of not understanding what we each valued.
Right. So here's a simple short version. Dee's brother's coming to visit with his wife. I'm a Chinese food lover. I said, let's get Chinese food for them. She doesn't eat Chinese food, don't know nothing about Chinese food, but we go together to get Chinese food in Chinatown in Washington. I go to the restaurant that gives big portions. She's never been there or doesn't know much about it. Maybe I took her there when I was dating, but she didn't really study it. I'm a connoisseur. I ordered 4 big dishes. She said, we need more. I don't want to look cheap, and I don't want to be chinchy. And so I said, we only need 4. That's more than enough. And she said, no, we need more. I said, no, 4. She said, more. And then I got louder. She got more intense. I got louder, intense. She got more intense. And then I hollered and said something, whatever I said. She put her finger in my face and said, I will leave you. Okay. Back it up. Dial it back. Everybody say dial it back.
Dial it back.
All of y'all say dial it back. That's right. That's what you got to do. Dial it back when you're getting hot or there's getting intense arguing about to start. Dial it back so you can compose yourself. I bought what she wanted. We went home. We ate. We had way too much. Am I right?
We had way too much.
All right, we wasted
You were
food,
right.
wasted money. But anyway, when my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law had left, we had a conversation. I said, we got to talk about this. And she said, I don't like people hollering at me.
Absolutely not.
And I said, I don't like people threatening me. And we made a deal. We made a promise that I would never holler at her again. And she promised she would never threaten to leave.
So that's called the rules of engagement. How do you work through disagreements?
That's
You
right.
have to decide on how you will work through your disagreements. And you need to come prepared or come up with your plan before you need it.
That's right. You start working on the system. So we encourage people to create the system of how you're going to disagree. What's below the belt? What's the thing that's not on the table that you don't like, so that they know that's not where they want you to go. Talking about somebody's mama, all these other things. Or muckraking. We tell you don't muckrake. That means bring up stuff from the past that's been solved or dealt with years ago. You bring it back up every time as a way of getting an advantage. That's not good. Or stamp collecting, which is where you collect stamps and just let it store up like you do, like a green book, green stamps when I was growing up. The S&H green stamps, you collect them and then you win at the redemption center. No, if you got an issue, talk about it right there.
So you're not winning by collecting issues.
That's right.
And exploding.
There you go. Look, we got 3 more. We only got about 5 more minutes in this interview, and I want to make sure we get to the sex one because that's a big one.
Let's jump to.
Oh, look, how to handle a stalemate. We'll do that quickly. How to handle a stalemate when you disagree. One want to go left, one want to go right. One really want to go left, one really want to go right. You got to have a way to handle a stalemate, and the way that we've done it is that
We discussed it first, decided how we would handle it before it needed to come up.
And then you got what we call the trusted advisor. Your mate, your spouse, your partner is your trusted advisor.
Well, should be.
Should be. We both say should be. And so we've learned that Dee is my trusted advisor. And it comes from when I was a boy. My mom would be in the passenger seat. My dad would be in the driver's seat. He'd say, can I get over? This before you had a rear view mirror on the right side of the car. She'd roll down the window, put her head out the window, and she'd say, yes, you can, or no, you can't. And whatever way she said, that's how he responded. Because he trusted her. You got to trust your significant other and trust each other. It makes a difference. Let's get to number 8, though. Chapter number 8.
Sex, headaches, and other lies.
Say it again.
Sex, headaches, and other lies.
And that came from the fact that many people talk about, I got a headache tonight. I got a headache tonight. I don't want to do it tonight. But look, sex is a big part of marriage. And we've found that people who stop having sex we've found that people who are divorced stop having sex typically about a year before they get divorced. So there's intimacy.
So sex is a part of the communication.
Part of the communication and the intimacy. So we talk about in these seminars and on the audio, you got to hear the audio. It's hilarious and it's really deep. That men need 2 things, women need 2 things. Men, listen to me. All you men, listen to me right now. Men, women need 2 things. Your wife needs 2 things. She needs intimacy and security. Now, intimacy is not sex. It can lead to sex, but it's not always sex. But sex is intimacy. But intimacy is where they feel emotionally.
It's time and attention and being listened to.
That's right.
Being valued, not just for the sex, but being valued as a person and respected.
Right. Okay, so that's intimacy. Then there's security. Is also respect that you got them and you're going to take care of them and you're going to take care of their feelings.
And whatever that security is, but if you've communicated with each other, you know what security looks like.
That's right. That's right.
For
So
your spouse or significant other.
So men, women need intimacy, security. Women, what do women need? What do men need?
Sex and respect.
Say it again.
Sex and respect.
Men-
Sex and respect. Sex and respect.
Men need sex and respect. Sex, a lot of it. Men think about sex all day long. That's what studies show. Sometimes they 17 times a day, sometimes before breakfast. That's right. And they need respect. They need to be the king of the castle. Got to make them feel like a man and make them feel like it. So men need sex and respect. Women need intimacy and security.
And security.
And if you're mindful, and then understand about sex, gentlemen, if you want sex at night, you need to start working on it in the morning. Because, see, men are... We love this one since we last had the seminar and had it. Men are microwave ovens, and women are
crock pots. That's a great visual.
Crock pots. They take a while to warm up, but men, Johnny on the spot. So be mindful of that. All right, number 9.
Date your mate.
Date your mate. This was one we found a lot of folks in the line.
And it does not require money. It's surprising how many people talked about that. We have kids. We don't have time. That's when you really, really, really need date time.
Yep.
When life is so busy.
Right.
You need to make an appointment.
Appointment for a date.
Appointment for sex.
Appointment for sex.
You schedule everything that's important to you.
Yeah, you put it in your phone. Everything that's important. Every meeting, every phone call, every conference call that's important, you put it in your phone. Conference, or put in a schedule. We want you to schedule a date every week. Now, people would come up in line as they were signing books, say, "Oh, we don't have no money," or we can't afford a babysitter. Hey, you don't need no money. We had a date night with no money. We sat in front of the television in our bedroom, watched Hill Street Blues.
With the door open,
and
the kids
LA
could go
Law.
by.
The kids could go by. We'd eat popcorn, and that was our date. And we did that for a number of years when we were raising the kids and paying tuitions and all of that. So, we recommend a date night. We had so many who said, "Oh, we've been married for 13, 14, 20 years. Don't have a date night. We're too busy." You got to have a date night. And we had a specific situation. My niece and her husband called, and they had a challenge. They were having a major blow up in their marriage. And we said, "Oh, don't give us all the details. We don't need the details. Do you have a system? First, for disagreeing. Well, no. Do you have a date night? Well, no. Well, we gave them a system for disagreeing and gave them a date night. And when we saw them about a couple months after, they said, things are just wonderful.
At Thanksgiving dinner.
At Thanksgiving, they said it was wonderful. Things have changed. It works. Look, we got to go. Our time is up. Number 10 is we talk about finances. We don't have time to talk about it.
It's about the money, honey.
It's about the money and how to create systems. We've got some systems that work and just didn't come from us, but also from people we interviewed who've been married 40, 50, and 60, even 70 years. These systems work. So here's what you should do. I recommend you go to jollymarriage.com and get the book. Get 2 copies, one for you and one for your significant other. And then get the audio book, the CDs with the seminar, the 2 CD seminar series, and the workbook. You can get all of this digitally. You can get it downloaded. So if you're in China or Japan or South Africa, you can get it downloaded. And then for those who want to really grow and go to the next level, join us for our Marriage Magic Seminar on February the 22nd, 2020, here in Washington, or available by stream. Go to jollymarriage.com/magic and register today. If you're coming live, you got to do it quick because there are only a few seats left. But go to jollymarriage.com/magic and get that. We got to go. Look, this is Dr. Willie Jolley. And my special guest.
This is Dee Taylor-Jolley.
We are out. We got to go. But
Jolly
we hope
out.
Jolly out. Join us Monday night, Facebook Live. We're going to help 1 million marriages. and enhance a million more. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. And for sure, your best is yet to come.
Jolly out.
Jolly out.
Are you tired of crying and complaining?
Well, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode, and I hope you got something of great value. And I hope that you were inspired, you were motivated, you were empowered, and you were encouraged to live your best life. I hope this information and this inspiration will help you to do more, be more, and to achieve more. That's the goal why I started this program, and I hope it helped you in a mighty way. Now, I ask you to make sure and that you take full advantage of all the resources that came through this program. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/gift and get some of the free resources that we have there for you. I hope you go to wjspeaks.com/shop to get some of the books that we have created, that we've labored over to make sure that they will deliver a powerful message to you. I hope you go to williejolly.com/billionaire, williejolly.com/billionaire, or wjspeaks.com/billionaire to get the box that it will inspire your whole family, or get the bag of books. Make this a great day, a great week, a great month. And remember, it is true that you are blessed and all things are possible for them that believe. So make the most of the belief that you have now in your future. This is Dr. Willie Jolley. Have a great day.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.